Hi to everyone who's watching. My name is Ilya Gapanyuk. I am from Ukraine. I am recording this micro lesson in order to show you how I would teach the lesson plan called Changing Lifestyle to my B1 pre-intermediate students. Let's get going. Hello guys, thank you very much for joining our lesson today. Yes, we have to be working online. It's connected with the COVID pandemic. As you understand, the restrictions are still in place, and offline work in class is not available for us still, but we are all hoping for the best. But don't worry, please, because today's lesson is going to be truly interesting, and I think we'll be able to cooperate together in the most productive way. I want to tell you a little story. You can call it a story about how I spent my evening yesterday. It wasn't any special evening, but at the same time, I enjoyed it a lot because I viewed my older photographs from our vacations with my wife from the time when we lived in a previous flat. So the times which the events which happened with me and my family 5, 7 years ago. It was quite nice to remember all those events. Today, the lesson will be devoted approximately to the same, and we'll speak about how our life changes with the passage of time. We'll remember about some things which changed in our lives during the 5, 7 years of time. Of course, it will be necessary, and we'll do this. We'll revise the grammar tense past simple, because you cannot speak and explain things or events, past actions without using past simple. As a part of past simple, there will be activity, interesting interactive activity aimed at revising the irregular forms of verbs. Unfortunately, sometimes you and other students make mistake with them, but if we revise them together, I think we will be able to remember them. And there will be more interesting activities, but about that a little later. So let's begin. The warm-up activity for now. I think the best way to start this lesson, to start this topic, will be simply to remember how our life was different 5 years ago, and what is currently typical or currently happening in our lives. Let me give you 3 examples so you understand what kind of ideas, sentences I would like you to share. Please, example number 1. 5 years ago, I lived together with my parents. Now I am married and we have a cat. This is a typical example. You can write something like that. Example 2. 5 years ago, I didn't have a car and had to walk or use my bicycle. Now I drive almost every day. Of course, it costs me more, but it has brought a certain freedom and more comfort into my life. Example 3. 5 years ago, I taught English and German in a regular classroom, with people coming, sitting, communicating together face to face. Now, for more than 2 years, I teach online 90% of my lessons. It's, of course, mainly connected with the COVID pandemic. Now, I would like to give you 2-3 minutes to write down the similar sentences of how your lives changed in these 3 maybe to 5 years time. Great, you are already finished. Well, who wants to read the examples? Let's listen to the guys. Kate, please, your example. Okay, yes, the sentence is correct indeed, and the example is quite interesting. Who else? Daniel, yes, please, of course, we are listening. Oh, this is a funny story. I understand. Yeah, it happens sometimes to some people, definitely. Do we have more volunteers? Oh, Jane, yes, please. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a typical situation. It happens to almost everyone. Thank you for sharing your examples. It was really interesting to hear how your personal lives have changed in the 5 years period time. I think we should move on. Before we start and work with some reading activities and different interactive activities, I think it is necessary first to spend 2-3 minutes with revising of the grammar past of the grammar tense, past simple, because I don't want you to make mistakes in a simple tense like that. So let's use our visual presentation for this. Excellent, here it is. Of course, I will comment, but I want you to give most of the information, to share what you remember, and let me help you to do this. In the first uh, step, it's necessary to simply remember that past simple is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. The time of the action can be in the recent past or the distant past, and action duration is not important. Now, who can tell me what words, indicator words, show that this sentence is supposed to be expressed, to be built in past simple? Of course, yesterday, the day before yesterday, 3 weeks ago, last week, the year, yes, in 2007. Yeah, so all of the words and word combinations which mean some time ago. Yeah. Now let's review the types of sentences and how past simple is used in those different types of sentences. We'll start with affirmative sentence, of course. Now, who can answer, who can tell me what's on this slide? Yes, Jack, please. Absolutely, it's not difficult. If we use an irregular verb which has a second and a third form, then it's necessary to use the second past form in an affirmative sentence. But most of the verbs are actually regular, they do not have any forms, and then we use the ed ending. Interrogative sentence. What is the rule here? Yes, Daniel, again, please. Exactly, not too difficult. We need to use didn't to interrogate the information, and then simply to add a verb in the infinitive form without any changes. I'm glad you remember that. And questions? Questions? Kate, please. Right, you are. Not too difficult as well. We need to remember to use the tense indicator did before subject. Subject may be you, he, my friend, guys, and so on. And after subject, a verb is used in infinitive. Don't forget to use question verb or question word, or word combination if necessary, because it's not original, it's not a rare case when questions are built without question words, like, did you go to sleep late yesterday night? Great. Now we should really get on with another very important element of past simple, revising the irregular forms of the most common verbs. Unfortunately, sometimes people make mistakes in this, but it's a very important material of English. Let's not make mistakes. We will be able to revise them together now. So that is basically all for my question. 9 minutes 45 seconds approximately. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope it wasn't too bad. I really made an effort. I hope it shows. Thanks a lot.